If you have brain fog and notice that you struggle with being productive, you may be overstimulated and overdosed on dopamine. Every scroll, every notification, and every quick hit of validation trains your brain to crave pleasure and avoid anything that takes real effort. That's why focusing may feel harder than ever and peace may feel out of reach, but when you take a step back and detox from all distractions, your brain is actually able to recalibrate itself. So this is also when you start to find joy and stillness again. So maybe reading starts feeling good again, creating starts feeling effortless again, and you start to remember what real presence feels like. So for today's Talk with Ty Tuesday, we're diving into how to reset your brain, how to reclaim your attention, and reconnect with your natural state of peace. So if you're interested and ready to stop living on autopilot, come join me. Hey loves, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. My name is Tyla. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Talk with Ty Tuesday. Today is all about healing your dopamine addiction. Nowadays, we live in a world that is constantly demanding our attention, but at what cost? So when it comes to dopamine, that is the brain's feel-good hormone and chemical that rewards us for pleasure, novelty, and achievement. So when we talk about healing our dopamine addiction, it's not necessarily getting rid of the things that create dopamine, because we do need it to function, but creating more of a balance.
Some signs to look out for that you may be overstimulated is if you can't sit still without checking your phone, you struggle to finish simple tasks, you feel mentally foggy or drained after scrolling, you crave instant results and lose motivation when things take time, or if you feel low-key anxious when you're not doing something stimulating.
So some modern dopamine overloads are social media, multitasking, as well as constant content. And when it comes to all these different things, especially with social media, scrolling for hours, if you're somebody that posts, getting likes, views, shares, comments, all those things, and receiving dopamine in that way, it is against our natural state and how we're supposed to receive dopamine, because our brain is more meant for more slower and meaningful stimulation. And this is why you may notice that at times you may not have enough energy, you may not feel like being productive, because your brain is always searching for that next dopamine hit and it's leaving you tired, anxious, and restless.
Now, let's get into the science of dopamine and focus. So when it comes to dopamine, it isn't just a feel-good chemical, but it's also the messenger of motivation. So it's what drives us to seek reward, chase goals, and feel excited about what's next. But here's the thing. Your brain releases dopamine in anticipation of reward, not just when you get it. That's why the chase feels so addictive. Our brains were never meant to process this much stimulation. Every scroll, every ping, every new piece of content gives us a tiny hint of dopamine, but too much of that rewires your brain to crave constant novelty. So even when you want to focus, your mind starts searching for the next hit instead of staying present. So it then becomes a loop. You feel bored, so you scroll, then you scroll, get a tiny burst of dopamine, then crash and feel bored again and reach for your phone. That constant up and down leaves your brain exhausted and your focus scattered. So you're stuck chasing micro rewards instead of real fulfillment. When dopamine levels spike too often, your baseline starts to drop. The things that once made you feel inspired, maybe reading, creating, learning, stops giving you that spark because your brain has been trained to expect instant gratification, and that's why peace and focus feel so far away. But the beautiful thing is that your brain is adaptable, so it can rewire. So that's through stillness, intention, and boundaries, your dopamine system can reset. And that's when your natural motivation comes back. So you'll start to feel joy in the simple things again, not because they're loud or fast, but because they're real.
So some ways to overcome this, starting with tip number 1, is to create digital boundaries. So if you know that you have periods in your day where you're just scrolling endlessly, like me, I always get caught up on TikTok. That's my struggle right there. Make sure that you set some time in your day to stay off of your phone completely. I like to have days where I do like a reset, where I'll barely even be on my phone. I'll just do activities throughout the day that help me to be present and pour into myself and practice self-care. You can even turn off your notifications, because you know how it gets sometimes. As soon as you get a notification, you're quick to grab your phone, turn it on Do Not Disturb so you have no distractions and you don't even have the urge to check what's going on your phone. Another tip is intentional stillness. So I like to do this through mindfulness, so meditation, or just going outside in nature and unplugging. This really will help you to be present and to detach from all the things that are going on throughout your mind, because even too, when you're scrolling endlessly and just consuming all of this content, it's like it stays in your head. Like I'll go on TikTok and I'll watch some videos and I'll be scrolling. All of a sudden I have all these different things and thoughts in my head and I'm just overwhelmed and my mind is fogged and clouded. Taking some time to just go outside and just be present in nature, and it'll help reconnect you with your natural state of peace. Another great tip is single tasking. Now, this one I've been trying to work on because I don't know if I have ADHD or something, but I'll do 5 different things at one time, bouncing from one to the other. So making time to actually plan out the things that you have to do and do it one step at a time will really help you to break that cycle of doom scrolling, of getting distracted, multitasking, and also help you to reconnect with your natural state of peace and just help you to be more productive, because you'll actually get things done when you set aside a list of things that you have to get done and you do them one at a time. And some great natural dopamine sources are sunlight, walking, getting fresh air, exercising, and doing something creative and fun.
So just know as well that the goal here isn't perfection, but just to create more balance. And when it comes to being at peace, it's not necessarily found by adding more, but by allowing less. So give your mind that space to breathe and it'll start creating magic again. But that is all for this video. I do hope that you all enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace out and much love.